Hey guys, Angel Gaming here, bringing you the latest mod for Fallout 4 on the PlayStation 4. If I just give a quick channel shout out, I just want to well, I should say, not exactly a shout out, a bit of self promotion. If I could please ask you to leave a like on the video. The channel does need the support, and without your guys' support, this channel ain't really going to go anywhere. So please support the channel, leave a like. It only takes a couple of seconds to actually do it. So I do appreciate every single little bit of help you can do. This week we're going to be covering the latest mods for Fallout 4, as I mentioned at the start of the video. If you missed last week, we did one of the subcategories. I think it was graphics. I'm not entirely too sure, but it has been a full week since then. Can't believe we're actually up to mods 34 already. Guaranteed the Skyrim one is on 43, I think it is, something like that. So just change the numbers around and it's pretty much the same. So yeah, gameplay wise for Fallout, you'll notice in today's uploads, if it's actually finished by the time this video completes, I've now gone on to the Nuka World stuff, and this week you've got a magical kingdom to explore and see all the the updated stuff for that. A bit of gameplay, but I've also got on the Nuka World overhaul mod, which is on there, which basically makes Nuka World look a bit more brand spanking new. And the only downside to that is interior locations get this thin see-through film of like a grassy texture everywhere, which sometimes is a bit confusing, but if you watch the video you'll see exactly what I mean on that anyway. So yeah, getting into the latest mods, and I'll try and go through these as quick as possible because I've got a bit of a cold, a bit of what's new. Okay, so starter kit for the Fallout 4, and this one is by Leon Green. Requires a DLC for Far Harbor and Nuka World. A starter kit inside the root cellar of Sanctuary. Pretty straightforward. This one's pretty intriguing. Companions Overhaul. This one requires DLC. Tossing all his companion mods into one save to save everybody some space, this version contains DLC data as well. This has overhauls of Preston Garvey, Hancock, X688, Curie, Piper, Kate, McCready, Dance, Deacon, Nick Valentine, Longfellow and Gage. So if you do want your companions to have a little bit of a remodeled look, guarantee I'm not too sure I like McCready's new look there. Then you've got X688. A little bit of Gage overhaul, don't really like that one either. Definitely don't like that one of Dance. That one really doesn't look that much different for Preston Garvey. Definitely don't like that one of Piper. Curie is alright on that one, but I personally, with the Curie has a different hairstyle mod, which you'll see in my upcoming videos. You'll see that she looks a lot better than that as well. Nick Valentine, intriguing, I must admit, to see him what he'd look like as a human synth. So that one's pretty much okay. Nope, definitely don't like that one of Hancock. Oh, Longfellow, nope. Definitely don't like that one of Kate. Not entirely sure who that one's supposed to be. But yeah, not massively impressed with that one, I'm afraid. Sorry. Vivid Fallout all-in-one. Finally found a way to combine all this stuff into all-in-one and upload it to PlayStation. Seems a lot of people are doing that lately, which is good. Vivid Fallout is an overhaul of a lot of landscape textures such as trees, rocks, roads, bridges and concrete stuff. We made a few new textures, however in many cases just sharpened the game's original textures somewhat, added new normal maps and slight shadowing. However, the results look quite good and the texture is less VRAM heavy than the original ones, so you can see them right there. Not a massive difference, but a little bit of an overhaul. There's the vanilla, there's the version 1. So yeah. Fallout 4, better graphics and weather. We have seen this on a previous one, but I think it was in the graphics topic last week. So yeah, this mod improves graphics and weather in the game. Also check out his mod for Fallout 3 lighting and weather. Better graphics and weather mod will conflict with any that alter weather and lighting mods version with DLC support for Far Harbor and Nuka World coming next month. Scarce survival resources. This one good if you're using any kind of survival mode, should I say, not mod. This mod makes the following items significantly less common from defeated enemies and containers. Stimpaks, Radex, purified water, bobby pins, dirty water, blood packs are also slightly less common. So that one's scarce survival resources. Non-hostile factions. This is just a test mod at the moment, so expect a bunch of bugs in there as well. So the idea here is to have factions not attack the player unless you started it. Okay, which never made any sense with why these factions are attacking the player in the first place. Well, considering that most of them are just raiders, then they don't really have a reason for why they want to attack. They just do. But anyway, it's still not fully. He's still not fully experienced in making mods. If there are any tutorials, blah 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 blah. He made a few changes to NPC aggressions to some of them, but still problems with a few of them because of the creation kit is an a-hole and keeps crashing on certain NPC. So there you go. Spec Ops Supply Drop is the one in the latest. Requires a DLC for Far Harbor and Nuka World. This mod adds a couple of fun new items to the game. Items are located in the trunk outside of Vault 111. Jesus, for all the people who have to actually download like multiple mods, if you're downloading all the ones that give you something to the Vault 111 area when you first come out of there, you're gonna come out there one of these days with all these mods active, and it's gonna be like a junk pile of all these containers and crates and stuff everywhere. The amount of mods I've seen throughout doing this now, and all of them seem to start at Vault 111. So yeah, expect a little bit of conflict at some point or other. Anyway, this mod adds a couple of fun new items into the game. These are located at Vault 111. Ultra Stim meds that remove all rads, cure all addictions, and restore all lost health. These can be crafted at the camp station and have been added to the level list, so it pops up randomly in medkits throughout the game and on NPCs. Doomsday outfit featuring heavily overpowered stats, Spec Ops AK style rifle, a big game rifle for taking down those big trophy monsters to hang on your wall, and that's pretty much it really. Again, if you do want any special weapon ones without having to actually download weapon mods, then I highly recommend legendary modifications, which I'll go over again at some point if you haven't already seen it. It's basically one mod that lets you put any legendary modification that you will find in the game on any gun, on any armor, on any power armor, or basically anything that you can add on to. So yeah, that's all. That's the only one you ever really need. You don't need 1,000 mods for different weapons or armors. You just need one mod to basically make your own, and then pick the particular mod, the particular legendary that you want. Ballistic realism overhaul, aka bro. This mod finally on console. It's been updated 6 times on the PC to ensure a solid gameplay experience. Enjoy. This mod overhauls all of Fallout 4's gunplay, making the wasteland deadlier than ever. NPCs now have the same firepower that the player has. Factions that were somewhat not a threat in vanilla are now a force to be reckoned with. Be prepared to think twice before stepping around that corner, because one blast from an institute rifle will kill you. That's going to be fun. Choose your factions wisely, as some factions like the Brotherhood of Steel are now absolutely essential for attacking the Institute, and good luck trying to destroy the Brotherhood of Steel. Their power armor reflects energy intake, so be sure to use that as if you would significantly do more damage to power armor. Think of power armor as a tank, a future tank that can reflect lasers. Okay. I recommend you start a new game for this mod. Players have reported a glitch where it may cause enemies to have 100,000 plus health. So if you want to load the current save, just be aware that this may occur. Creatures of the Commonwealth is including super mutants, have their own stats and buffs to prevent the game from being overly boring. So if you're running to a Mirelurk, it will still be a challenge and not just a bullet sponge. Okie dokie. Faster cell respawns. This mod reduces the cell respawn timer. Cells 48 hours, 2 days. Survival multiplies this by 5, so 10 days. Cleared cells 168 hours, 7 days. Survival multiplies this by 4, so 28 days. Default cell respawn timer. Cells 168 hours to 7 days. Survival is 35 days. I do apologise. Cleared cells 480 hours, 20 days. Survival respawn is for 80 days. Pre-war raiders. Okay. Most raiders now have pre-war outfits. Postman outfits hold paper in hand. It might be changed later. Invoker Grey, what on earth are you doing? I had so much respect for so many of your mods, and this one I just don't get at all. Raiders are raiders, leave them alone. They're called raiders for a reason. Turbo EXP for PlayStation 4. Added Turbo EXP Junior. Increased time length to 10 minutes as it should have been. At the Chem Bench you can create a Turbo EXP buff from one stim pack and a mentat. The buff will activate for 10 minutes and give huge amounts of experience for kills, etc., and applies a steady aim for that duration. Craft under the heading buff. Edit added more chems, see patch notes. This mod should not conflict with any other mods, and basically that's it. Bleak. This mod changes the environment to a more harsh nuclear winter inspired setting. No more clear blue skies, fog, rain and snow are all the norm in the Commonwealth now. This is not compatible with any other weapon mods. Loot Realism Collection. I haven't seen this one pop up on the things before, so this might be a brand new one. Okay, even though there's a version 2 on it, which is for fixed loot for 3 types of desk. No more ammo showers. Okay. This one requires a DLC for the Automatron, Far Harbor, and Nuka World. This mod collection, and the separate counterparts were uploaded on the behalf of permission from the credited to Moonracer. He takes credit only for the Scrounger perk changes and a few tweaks to the ammo lists. If installing during a pre-existing game, cells and vendors will need to be reset before seeing any changes. In other words, fast travel away to somewhere a couple of cities away, then come back. Right, this mod contains Moonracer's realism mods for loot, logic and reduction, vendor diversity overhaul, NPC loot drop rebalance, no legendary items from creatures, and his Scrounger ammo reduction. This collection was made for those coming close to mod limits. The separate mods are still available if you want to choose them. Okay. Manta Man is now a superhero. Okay. Manta Man is a wastelander who believes himself to be Hubris Comics superhero of the same name. Travelling to the Commonwealth to fight evil, he can be found as a random encounter after completing the quest The Silver Shroud. The mod makes him buffed out in a mysterious stranger outfit with a shish kebab, perks and spells added to, like speed and jetpack. Oh, okay. The workshop NPC script was added to him as well, so he will be the top tier vendor who will sell all the books in the game, the box at QA Smoke. The AI was set to follow player, so after he has spawned he will find the player. Okay, so you don't really need to hire him on as a follower. You can actually have your own follower plus him just follow you around if you want that. Vault X01 Player Home. We've come across this one before as well, but this one's from Xenotronium. And he's added a new version into there, extended build area at entrance, fitting the whole room. Added a drain for sewer, for draining water, reduced noise from the hydroponics in the kitchen. This requires a DLC for pretty much everything, unfortunately, for Automatron, Wasteland Workshop, Far Harbor, Contraptions Workshop, Voltec Workshop, and Nuka World. the mod page is online. Okay, he's just advertising his mod page there. And welcome to Vault X01 for new player home. Features a workshop, crafting station, robot crafting station, mannequins and power armor displays, follower quarters, weapon rack, workshop storage, access from different spots of your vault, first aid bed which heals you completely, also addictions, cripples, rims, radiation and so on. You've got a Nuka-Cola display racks, vendor who sells scrap and all kinds of ammo, a terminal for playing Robco games, fish tank, an exercise area, send settlers forwards to and from the vault. You can set up trade routes to as well from the vault. The entrance is completely unknown, hidden. The only way in is to fast travel, so it's a completely independent cell. You won't see it out in the game world. And the map marker for CW, Far Harbour and Nuka World as well. Survival, fast travel to Vault XL1 and all settlements. Also, DC Good Neighbor faction HQs is enabled. Don't affect your game in any other way. Okay, everything in the vault is very static as well. So nice little pre-made vault. If you play a home, that's got pretty much everything already set up for you and looks pretty decent too, I'll admit. The Wildwood Crypt Settlement. This mod adds a crypt to Wildwood Cemetery, which is a player settlement. You can fast travel to it from it as well. He's done his best to make it feel like a crypt. He also added some craftable stuff on Destruction Miscellaneous. I hope you enjoy, and all comments are welcome. So yeah, there's a couple of inside crypt location type things there. You've got a nice bit of ambient fog in there as well, so it does look pretty good, but not for me. TLS Realism Gunfire aims to change the audio of all gunfire to sound more realistic. He's hit the spot on the Garden of Eden creation kit, but it may vary by TV. Download and test it for your game. Don't save until satisfied. Simple. Incompatibility should be few and far between unless you've already have an audio changing mod. Not talking about music and such, just gunfire. My haptic reload mod is compatible with this one. Lastly, this does not bring the volume up for the gunfire. I didn't make this to blow your speakers up, just simply change the tone of the gunfire to make it sound more realistic. I brought the volume up to on a 10mm and rifle out of ammo noises, and turn them down for a little bit more realistic, however. Okay, the Antagonizer's Nest. Antagonizer. Requires a DLC for Nuka World. The Antagonizer by Invoker Grey. Oh, last he's actually doing something that looks like it might be decent in this video. The Antagonizer by Invoker Grey, a new map marker north of Outpost Emoji, will take you to a new workshop adventure. 4 new power armor paint jobs, 3 new power armor reskin hazmats to glowing ant skin, helmet, suit, and suit. Okay, 2 new workshop NPCs, pet ants. Okay, and the ant agonizer. 1 new workshop player home copy for the Big Dig Underground. Okay. Items at QA Smoke if you do not want to run the adventure backdoor, key 2 as well. Okay, so yeah, bit of new power armor and costumes. Wasteland Addict. This is a working project of a drug chem and disease overhaul, and coffee can be crafted at the cooking station. Coffee powder as an ingredient can be scrapped or looted. You can reuse the cases of many consumables now. Drinks give back an empty bottle. Oh, that's pretty good. Inhale drugs, jets, an empty inhaler, and pills, an empty pill bottle. Okay, why did jump in the thing there? Buff out or a pill case in Mentans, injected drugs, psycho stim pack, and an empty syringe can be crafted. Coffee, an empty cup, and so on and so forth. Okay. Coastal Cottage overhaul, modern villa. Player home. In his latest update, it just says here that the button to turn the indoor waterfall to gain frames per second is needed. Bigger building, area in front, reduce smog at the pool to gain frames per second. So this looks like, yeah, it looks like Coastal Cottage has just been redone basically. It does look pretty good, I must admit. It looks like a nice modern day condo with, that's what they call them these days, just a little villa anyway. Yeah, anyway, this one requires a DLC for Wasteland Workshop, Contractions Workshop, Vault-Tec Workshop. One huge vanilla build on the side of a cliff overlooking the sea, glass elevators, built-in fireplaces, and a party button that transforms the kitchen into a bar. Backhouse, because it's always good to have a virtual party, I guess. Just connect the switch box near the workbench to the water pump next to it and the water connector above it to run the electricity through the whole building without having to run any wires. And there's a bunch of little instructions here which I'll let the user read for themselves if that's something that they're interested in. But anyway, yeah, there's a bunch of nice little screenies. Sorry if I'm going through them a bit too quick, but you basically get the right idea anyway. There you go. Brahmin with weapons and armor vendor outside Vault 111. Another one for outside Vault 111. This is for new game starts. A Brahmin should be wandering outside Vault 111 carrying rocket rifles, burning armor, freezing armor, and ammo for weapons. Okay. AX skins. Okay. New AX at the comic book store. Collect the 7 skins for more damage. Location in the gallery's picture. Okay, not sure I really like that, but yeah, okay. Each to their own. Increase perk ranks by Governor Writer. He's usually a pretty good one on the mods for the PlayStation 4 as well. This mod increases the maximum number of ranks have some perks. Adds new ranks for some perks. Now ranks in perks. Okay, English isn't his first language, I'm guessing. Iron Fist, 9 ranks. Cap Collector has now got 7. Gunslinger 9. Fortune Finder 7. Big Leagues 10. Rifleman 9. Lady Killer Black Widow 8. Commando 9. And so on and so forth. They've all basically been overhauled. At least ranks needed 100 level. I'm just going to sneak on to the next one and hope no one notices. Nick Valentine overhaul. This is one of the mods from Sammy 13 before that we were featured in the collection pack. So if you just want one of those without having to have all of the mods, then that one's for you. Darker Nights and Rainier Weather, pretty much straightforward. Quick hack and pick. Quickly open all locks and hack all terminals. Every terminal will have only one word to choose from, and every lock, it will not matter where you hold the bobby pin anymore. You'll still need to level up and get the perks where applicable. Very simple and common game setting mod. Just made one because the buddy told me he can't find one for his console. Okay. Gauge overhaul, another one from Sammy 13. If you missed it earlier in the video, the Nick Valentine, the Gauge, and the Longfellow overhaul, and you'll probably come across a couple more as we're going through, all by the author Sammy 13. If you don't want to download them individually, right at the start of this video I did show basically a collection pack by the exact same author that has all of the companion overhaul changes in one mod. But if you don't want to change every single companion, you can download these individually for whichever companion you want to overhaul anyway. We covered the Nick Valentine one. This one is obviously for Gauge, which I'll mention. Like, it just looks stupid, to be honest. Longfellow, not much of a change, just made him look a little bit younger. Companions overhaul for no DLC. This one, it's Sammy 13 as well. Okay. Toss those companion mods into one. This is okay, so they've basically uploaded the same mod twice. Dance overhaul again by Sammy 13. The Lake House Player Home mod. PlayStation 4, no DLC. Player Home Log Cabin, a house by Sanctuary, ready for you to move in and fix up any way you like. The settlement is not a fully functioning due to Stone Age rules. If you want settlers, use USO to place settlers. Okay. Drag anything. Okay. This mod does what it says on the tin, allows you to drag anything your heart desires. I haven't actually tested with every draggable object, but I'm pretty sure you'll be able to manage anything. If you want to try and drag objects, you still have a hard time as they move very slowly. So in other words, as you can see in the thing, the Behemoth, however you want to pronounce it, you'll be able to actually drag those now instead of just leaving them sprawling on your settlement if they do attack your settlement. If they have attacked your settlement, should I say. Sorry, my voice is starting to go. Better rad resist for gas masks and clothing. Red lightning gun. Okay. Hope's Armory for the PlayStation 4. Sorry, one minute. After the Minutemen fell to pieces after General Becker's death, some Minutemen groups remained loyal to the cause. One such was led by Major Colin Axel. A prominent Minuteman, his last standing orders were to defend Hope's armour at all cost. After 67 failed attempts, Major Axel was the lone survivor who chose to lock himself in and died of starvation some time ago. Okay, the mod turns the custom house tower in the Minutemen armory with lots of ammo boxes, weapons, Minutemen uniform and Major body, which is temporarily renamed to Minutemen officer. His unique named GG is on the table. Okay. A starter's gift for PlayStation 4. This mod adds a laser pistol and some ammo to the Sanctuary Root Cellar, along with many other mods that do that. Modern Minutemen military mod. Official beta. Okay. Leaderboards. Use the assault for her best results, and okay, so basically just makes the Minutemen a bit more overpowered. Craft it up. Okay, this is a new one I've not seen before by Grimblade. This mod alters only amounts of materials for items you pick up after crafting. Xbox One version has been fully finished, and this one is the same. In-game assets only, so PlayStation 4 friendly and is compatible with everything, even mods that alter miscellaneous item. What it does makes miscellaneous items have more materials so that they actually get used. Fair enough. Repaired Starlight Driving, if you want a repaired version of it, guaranteed still looks like a bit of a shite hole, but there you go. Hell's Bells Halloween Party by Final Render. Here's the download for Final Render's second Halloween special. This party house is at the church directly next to the Museum of Freedom in Concord. Perfect for screenshots and Halloween fun. It recommends Automatron, Nuka World and the Wasteland Workshop DLC, and is available on Xbox One, PlayStation 4 and PC on Nexus as well. So yeah, just takes a bunch of the stuff that you'll find in all the different... That's pretty cool. Yeah, takes a bunch of different stuff that you'll find throughout Nuka World and stuff and just puts them into one big like Halloween House of Horrors. Don't know exactly where that skull's come from. To be honest, I've never seen that in in-game assets, but I ain't gonna knock it. About time some people try pushing the limits. Okay, Ultimate Cheat Mod, seen this before many times. Custom crafting stations. Yeah, we've been over this as well. Requires DLC again for pretty much everything, and just allows you to craft all the little basic stuff that you wouldn't normally come across, like petrol cans, the syringes, buff out as well, box of it on there. I'm not going to go through all the description because there is way too much stuff, and as you can probably hear, my voice is slowly starting to actually go. Wacky Weapons Workshop, Free Crafter Complete Edition, Free Maker Complete Edition, UCO Season Pass, which has been featured so many times, so I'm not even going to waste your time with going over them yet again. Lexington Interiors, Less Rust Devils, which we did cover in a previous video. Fallout 3, lighting and weather in Fallout 4. Okay, so if you liked the atmospheric weather that you had in Fallout 3, they've managed to recreate it for Fallout 4. Basic game, more logical and real weapons and ammunition. Enhanced syringes, a work in progress. Laundromat, which enables you to turn your clean clothes into dirty clothes and dirty clothes into clean clothes. straightforward. Cheat room for Far Harbor patch, a UCO base game core components, which is essential if you want to use most of the other ones that he has. Armor and weapons keyword community, bridge wall bunker, a Pip-Boy paint jobs. You do need, I think, is this the one that you need to have the Creation Club stuff? No, it doesn't. I think that one differs. Okay, moddable robot settlers. Cheat room for Nuka World patch. We've got a free maker base game version and Starpoint, which is a lighthouse settlement. Jetpack, no ability point or fusion core drain. Weather Redux, immersive weather mod. Companion infinite ammos. Captain Noob's buff Chinese stealth armor. You do need to own the Creation Club armor first though before you can actually use the buff on this one. Busty mod, which features pretty much every single week. I can't imagine why. UCO base game and core components. Quazel's weapon overhaul for Nuka World. Proton axe. Weapon mod. The Glasserinth, a moving maze of glass and steel. A improved perks. Okay, this one seems a little bit different than the stuff we've done before. The goal of this mod is to make the less useful perks in Fallout 4 more powerful and fun to use without changing the overall balance of the game. Far Harbor and Nuka World are required. Cannibal now adds more crafting recipes, and each rank using meat and blood from humans, ghouls and super mutants. In survival mode, these recipes will satisfy your dark cravings. Rad resistant has been changed, ghoulish has been combined with rad resistant, the rest are mostly just minor stat changes. Vans now also slightly increased movement speed as well, and yeah, you can go through it always yourself then. And I've got Deathclaw Dash. Okay, so you pop your head out of Vault 111 like a whack-a-mole, only to find yourself staring down the throat of a really ticked off Deathclaw guarding her nest. Run like hell. But wait, there's more. Daddy is guarding down in Sanctuary and isn't much of a companion either. Better keep running. Okay, so maybe it's a bit sadistic, but I thought it would be fun. At the start of the game was a bit more hectic. When you start the game, what would be more fun? A couple of grumpy Deathclaws protecting their turf. I tried to keep things balanced a bit so it's possible to sneak past them. Talk to Codsworth and Split Town to start the game. Okay. If you choose to take them out, they are toned down a bit just to be fair, but what's the fun if you can watch Preston and company's faces when they finally reach Sanctuary only to be raked around a bit. Okay. It does sound pretty fun, I must admit. Anyway. Moving on to the next one, Scrounger ammo reduction, Swamp Lurk King. Okay. Darnby dog meat rename. God, how many dog meat rename mods are there? Preston Overhaul is another one that was on about before from the same author, Sammy 13, which one basically just, if you want to get all of them in one pack, you can do. Very dark in here, I can't see. Curie Overhaul, again part of the same pack. Kate Overhaul, part of the same pack. X688 is part of the same pack as well. So is Hancock, so is Deacon. Pip-Boy Light updates, Pitch Blacker version 8. Loot Logic and Reduction. We've got the Roach King Armor and Shelter. I'm guessing by this one it's going to be Invoker Grey. Yes, I was right. The Roach King Reggie Blatari now has new legendary combat armor and dress. This mod includes a new workshop shelter, lots of food, new power armor paints, new Roach Queen NPC, transforms into a roach and then back again if killed. The pet workshop roaches, move them around the settlement button to make more. Okay, and Reggie Blatari has a legendary outfit, the Roach King's armor. Roach race can open doors as well, apparently. Okay. The Stingwing. Sunken Treasures, which adds a bunch of sunken treasure chests all over the map. You have to find them. King of all sniper rifles, again, make your own modifications with legendary modifications. Exotic enemies, cut devs, interior cells, debug area for PlayStation 4, Piper Overhaul, which is again part of Sammy 13's pack. Res base mod, okay. Vendor diversity overhaul, flamethrower minigun, McCready Overhaul, again part of Zombie 13's. Zombie Walkers, which isn't new, and I will just, for the benefit of the people who are tuning in for the very first time, the Curie long hair mod, which I was on about, which makes no picture unfortunately. It is a really good look for it, and I must admit it is better than the short hair variation, unless you actually like the shorter hair. I do apologise there. But that one, yeah, Curie's long hair mod is by CT Hole Who 4274. So yeah, that's a really good mod, I must admit, and that's what I've been using. Craft Your Own Robot is one that I use right at the very start using right at the very end of my Nuka World gameplay. So you probably got a little bit of time to go before that one really gets featured in modded gameplay, but I will put it in the description when I do actually use it. Excellent mod, and there's nothing quite like trying to take on the raiders in Nuka World and then realising you're getting slightly overgunned. So what do? You chuck down a Liberty Prime hand grenade, which then magically spawns a Liberty Prime that basically just goes around stomping everybody and chucking nukes everywhere. Definitely fun. Key Radiance in the Commonwealth, basically just all these little side quests that you can repeat. It keeps them in the Commonwealth instead of sending you off to Nuka World if you haven't actually gone there yet, and other places which are from the DLC. Simple Grass mod, it is pretty good. It does add patches of grass that you can add, which you can actually put down in the construction mode. Scrap that settlement all in one. Essential. You can just go around all the settlements and scrap nearly everything. All settlements extended, and combined with that one, it just expands the border lines, so you can go out there and clear some more of the trees and rocks and whatever else are out there. Limited edition bobbleheads, great one, absolutely fantastic. You basically once you've actually downloaded it, obviously you've added the perks onto you. You don't need to keep it. You can actually disable it again. Sanctuary Max Edition crafting resources adds a Garden of Eden creation suitcase outside of Sanctuary Bridge, and you can go over there and loot multi-thousand of every crafting resource. And then if you add it into your workbench and attach it to every settlement, you'll never ever really need any other resources apart from the one that you need to set up the basic settlement at the start. Scrap grass, bushes and leaves, again, really good one. DC Glory expansion pack 1. For those people who do follow my modded gameplay, I featured this one quite a lot throughout the modded gameplay. I've even done a video where I took you all around there as well. When I get to the end of the Nuka World stuff, you will find that I go back to doing the vanilla missions that I didn't do in the earlier video, and you'll see a lot of the DC Glory mod featured, because obviously that's one of the essential hubs that you come back to all the time. And believe you me, even the DC Glory expansion pack 1 Lite is absolutely fantastic. It keeps getting updated with new custom areas which you've never seen before. New custom shops. There's a bar called Mungo's where if you go around it you can pick up everything that's in there, including some extra alien blasters and stuff that you'd really have to go far and wide to try and find. KMZ Ventures, the DLC even. This one adds obviously rich vendors. Every vendor you'll actually come across will have more money, but it also adds a custom vendor into special locations all throughout the game. I couldn't really list a lot of them, but the main one I will point out, right at the start of Nuka World, when you first come in the gates, there's a vendor there that has all these custom weapons, over 1,000 rounds of every type of ammo. Some weapons you won't find anywhere else. That's alright. You will find the weapons everywhere else, but they'll have unique variations of every weapon that you would normally have to go again far and wide to try and find. legendary modifications. Okay, this is the one I was on about earlier. If you want one mod that is worth 1,000 plus, for all these people that keep putting out mods for, I've got a legendary weapon for you that does this, I've got a legendary armor that does that. Legendary modifications is the one mod that you need to make any legendary you want. You don't need to download 50 different mods for different clothing or weapons and then end up never using them. It lets you then all the legendary weapons you'll come across in the game world, you don't really need to hang on to unless you like to hoard them, because you can make all the ones that you want. In the legendaries list, there is every single weapon mod that you could possibly come across throughout the game and the DLC. There's every single armor legendary that you could come across. There is every single power armor legendary that you could come across. The list, I could go on and on. But yeah, there is so many possibilities with this. So if you, like myself, I on the weapon mods, I always go for one that is called is actually called two shot, and it turns any weapon that you shoot to fire off an extra round. So if you've got a machine gun, a sniper rifle, anything like that, go into VATS mode, and whenever you shoot a shot, a second one will hit the target as well. It just makes enemies drop a lot faster, and it can be really, really fun as well, like messing around with all the different modifications. Anyway, moving on to the next one, which I've got in my library at the moment, pre-ward settlements. Again, I find this one really useful because it doesn't actually eat into, well, for me personally, to actually say what I'm about to say, I have the build limit actually turned off actually on mine, so I can't really say that the pre-walled settlements don't take up any of the build limit, but I've never encountered any trouble with it. I'd say 90% of all the areas have had the pre-war settlement built. Sorry, pre-walled, not pre-war. Have had the pre-walled settlement actually built around it. There is a few exceptions. If you download this mod after you've already been to Sanctuary won't have one. And there are a few locations you will come across where I know the author of this mod is still trying to actually do the other ones, so they will be updated. Whether you've found that location and whether it still gets a brick wall around it after you've found it, I don't know, because I've never had that issue. But yeah, there are a couple of places that won't have them, but they're usually the locations that are pretty easy to put one up yourself. Murkwater Crossing, is it called? Down the south of the actual map. That one doesn't have one. That is one of the main ones that stands out that I could think of. But if you're using one of these scrapback settlements, scrapback Commonwealth things, you can build one. You can build one in there pretty easy anyway. Rich vendors complete, again, adds a bit more money into your vendors' pockets, which means when you go to sell all your hoarded loot, you're not going to be coming short and then having to go around to 6 different vendors just to be able to get rid of everything that you have. Scrap all the things. Again, this one I'm going to say use with caution. I recently did the Vault Tech Workshop missions, and I was surprised by how much was actually scrappable until I actually took away one wrong wall and I was greeted by this blinding white light, and it lets you scrap everything, and I mean everything, unfortunately. You can take away roads and you'll fall straight through onto the never-ending chasm, which is underneath the actual map. Some areas you will take away a surface and you'll just be on the undersurface. But there are certain areas where especially if you're in like an interior location, like I was just on about with the vault, If you're in an interior location like that and you take away the outer walls and everything else, you're going to be met with a game crashing white light, which it'll be alright for a short time, but if you keep passing the camera past it, it slows the game down, and eventually your game just completely cacks up. But yeah, so be very, very careful when you're like using this. Before you activate the build mode, make a hard save just to be on just to be on the precautious side, because it's so easy to accidentally take away something that will either crash your game or it will make you the area you're trying to actually build in look an absolute mess. Workshop items base game. Again, if people are settlement builders and they like doing all that type of stuff, then this one is for you. It basically gives you all the outside into exterior walls as well. Workshop player bed. This one, if you're sick and tired of the NPC constantly hopping into your bed when you built yourself a nice little cozy room, and you come back from a hard day out in the Commonwealth only to find that your bed's occupied. This one adds a choice of about 10 to 15 different beds, which are all categorized as my bed, which basically means that they're absolutely your bed. There's different styles, everything from a sleeping bag to the the double deck bunk beds. You've got the big clean double beds, the dirty beds, every possibility that you could come across. You can actually put and pick and choose which one you want for yourself. No build limit is the one I was actually mentioning before. It comes in all DLC and no DLC versions. You only really need the no edit DLC, but you can download the old DLC as well. Basically, this one, as you can see from the little screenshot, it takes away any of the build limit. But I will say the build limit was put there for a reason. So if you go absolutely nuts and you build, and then all of a sudden you come to realize that you're taking like 10 minutes to try and turn around on the spot or move through the actual settlement, it does mess with the frames per second, and it can crash your game when you try to fast travel out, or even when you're trying to move through an area if you have overbuilt. So use caution. And don't forget, whatever you build, if you do find the stuttering effect with major lag, take some stuff out of like a settlement. Trees especially, trees are one of the main things that cause the game to bob around everywhere. Workshop items is another one which is essential for builders. High carry capacity for a new game. If you're going to start a new game, this gives you a unbelievable amount of carry weight that you never need anything else really for. Skyline's PlayStation 4 Workshop. As the aforementioned trees, if you're looking to put a lot of greenery into your custom settlements, Skyline's PlayStation 4 Workshop, it basically allows you to put a lot of trees in there, from the giant oak tree that you encounter in Sanctuary, but this time it being a completely fixed version of it, to little saplings that you can put almost anywhere. But again, the more trees you have in one area, the more your frames per second are going to drop, so use them. I went mad and did a giant forest of trees just to make it nice in Sanctuary, and then when I came back there next time, the game crashed because the frames per second was so high. Brotherhood of Steel Uniform Ballistic Weave, it just adds a black version of the Brotherhood of Steel uniform into the root cellar. Functional Nuka Girl rocket suit allows you to craft a Nuka Girl a working and the non-working various variations: helmet, no helmet, helmet with the hood, helmet with hair, no helmet at all with hair, helmet with hood with no hair, and so on. But yeah, this allows you at the chemistry station to make a functional Nuka Girl rocket suit, and this is featured in many of the modded gameplay videos that I've been doing. Ashara put forward 4 character presets. I actually downloaded this one, but then I ended up not using it because I actually made my own character. Right, if you are seeing the modded gameplay series that I'm actually doing at the moment for Fallout 4, you'll actually notice that Nuka World is the current area that I'm actually doing. Uh, this one, the Nuka World Glory Rise from Ruin, is the mod I am currently actually using on there, which basically makes the Nuka World a lot more greener, fixed, and it basically makes it look a lot different, a lot better, should I say. One thing I will say about this, if you enjoyed doing the gauntlet at the start of the game, when you first arrive at Nuka World, don't install this mod until after you complete that. Basically, I did the gauntlet the first time I went through on my male character, and I absolutely loved it. It was fantastic. And then I thought, okay, I'm coming back to Nuka World this time. I know what to expect. Uh, I'll what I'll do is I'll actually install this mod, so when I get to Nuka World, I can see it with new eyes, with all the extra mods in effect. I got to the area where you do the gauntlet, and apparently the author also fixed the gauntlet area. So now there is nothing there to kill you. There is no radiation, there's no bombs, there's basically nothing there that is going to be any kind of gauntlet whatsoever. You can just walk through, pick up all the crap that's on the floor and everywhere else, and just go. So yeah. Choose your own perks is another one which I absolutely love. This basically lets you start off the game with all the perks, and you'll find them in a perk locker just outside again, Vault 111. Read them in the order that they are in the box. Don't try and read them in the wrong order, otherwise you're going to get in some serious trouble and some of the mods won't take effect. Sorry, some of the perks won't take effect. Some of the perks you won't see the changes on the perk chart until you're at the desired level. A couple of the perks you will still need to put the points into. But you will still, regardless of what level you are, you will still feel the benefit of that perk. And that's it. So yeah, now I'm definitely going to go and get a brew. Excuse me. So yeah, thank you very much for everybody who has tuned in. I'll be doing the Skyrim ones tomorrow, because obviously, as you can tell, I'm starting to leave up my voice again. Damn kids and their colds. But once they start going to nursery school, you kind of get used to it, I suppose. So anyway, yeah, thank you very much for tuning in, those who have actually popped in and out throughout the 52 minutes. And yeah, don't forget to leave a like. Please support the channel by checking out the other content that I'll be doing. I'm also doing Assassin's Creed content now, which I'm actually pleased to say will be continuing, because originally I was getting to a point where I might have had to actually return it due to a audio bug that I was having on there. But once you reload the game again after completely turning it off, it seems to have completely fixed it. So the Assassin's Creed gameplay will be continuing. I'm currently trying to wrap up some of the other ones, because you can probably tell from my uploads today I've got about 6 or 7 videos which I'm trying to upload. That includes content I'm trying to constantly do as well. I've still, regardless of the videos I'm actually putting out for things like regardless of the things I'm putting out for Ghost Recon, I still have to actually finish that in terms of gameplay recording. Agents of Mayhem is a finished computer game. I won't be doing any future content on that. Once the gameplay videos are actually done for that, I'll be basically trading that in, because I was a bit disappointed with it. But it's the game itself is fun, but it wasn't my kind of game. I was expecting a lot more of a Saints Row kind of experience, because I absolutely love that game, and it turned out not to be. So yeah, Agents of Mayhem will be wrapping up hopefully soon. That's why I'm putting out 2 videos instead of just normally 1. Ghost Recon is ongoing with more content to come. Assassin's Creed Origins is a new title on there, which is a fantastic game. It's absolutely breathtaking, especially if you like anything that has to do with Assassin's Creed or ancient Egypt. GTA 5 and GTA 5 Online will be continuing as normal with funny moments and all the usual content. Check out the latest funny moments which are on there as well. And there's probably like 20 or more like 5 or other titles which are actually out there at the moment, which if you actually check them out as well, I will be gratefully appreciative. So yeah, thank you very much to everybody who tuned in. Thank you to everybody who's tuned in probably right at the end as well. Don't forget you can watch the video back on replay, and as I mentioned before, don't forget smash that like button. It only takes a couple of seconds to show your appreciation, and I do appreciate you guys for actually doing that as well. And I will see you guys in the next video. And don't forget, Skyrim will be tomorrow. Skyrim mods live will be tomorrow. There are no new Creation Club mods for Fallout, but I wish I could say that was as a surprise. And I'll be checking the Skyrim Creation Club mods tomorrow as well. So, okay, thank you very much for watching. See you next week, and have fun.